are you doing?
Um, Good. I just had a little scare.
What happened?
I have a huge, one of those huge dry erase calendar boards that just came down.
I don't understand.
A dry erase board. Um, I don't want to show my room because I just took something out, so things are all over the floor. But can you see it right there?
E- So what's that?
Okay,
A dry
it's
what?
big. It's a dry erase board. So you write like the day, like the month and the days on there, and you can write out all your plans.
Ah,
I mean,
okay.
it's quite large. So um, it was hanging on the wall, and it just came
Oh,
crashing down right
alrighty.
before I came on
Thank,
here.
thank you, Cam. Someone is saying hi to you, Kim, in the comment section.
Hi,
Alrighty. Yeah, so
that's
yeah,
one of my girls.
oh, lovely. That's so nice.
Yes.
Yeah, alrighty. So let's start. I'm trying to think. How was your week today? I had an amazing day. I'll talk about it. Please, let's start with you. Then we can go to.
I don't know. It was typical week. I didn't have anything really spectacular going on today. Just, my jewelry stuff I do. I don't have been uneventful, which is okay, except for we had a lot of rain and we had some thunderstorms come through, which like scared the bejeebies out of me. So, like,
Yeah.
just trying to go to bed and all of a sudden it's like, "Rah," and I was like, just like
Mm,
that with all the lights and
yeah. Okay. Okay.
yes.
Alrighty.
Yeah,
I'm
so
sure they.
nothing big. It's just a regular typical week.
Yeah. I mean, when you talk about thunderstorms, like the dogs, the way they behave during thunderstorms, I hear there's one that.
Well, okay. So right now, because both dogs are here, they're in their kennels together, and as they've gotten
Yeah.
older, they're good while they're together. But
Yeah.
if Circo's not here and Heath is not here, Elliot will freak out a little bit.
Yeah.
So, that's when we have to go and kind of calm him down. And,
Yeah.
he's what, about 3 years old now, or something like
Oh,
that. So,
baby.
but he still doesn't. I'm ready for him to be out of the baby stage because he is an overgrown baby. Let me
Okay.
just tell you that.
Okay.
Um, when he comes at you, girl, he's gonna knock you over. So, yeah. But other than that, I mean, like he's good. He's good, but he does have
Oh,
a lot of anxiety issues.
oh,
So, yeah.
all right.
So, which is,
Mm,
why his bark's bigger than his bite type thing, if you've ever heard that. Yeah.
mm.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, all
So
right.
enough about my boring week. How was your week? I saw the pictures of your hike and the
Yeah,
waterfall. That was gorgeous.
beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. That was beautiful. I
Beautiful.
loved it. I loved it. It was really good, but then there was things that happened in the background, like our van, like
Oh yeah.
yeah, broke down like three times inside the forest. And then there was a disagreement between the guy who was driving us and the lady who took the money, because it was like the lady did not tell him that the terrain inside the park was like really bad. So there's so many issues there, and then people started complaining. But then we had like an amazing time. I mean, we tried to have an amazing time despite all that, and we were like, you know what, I would actually do the same. I would actually like, okay, when people are arguing, I was like, okay, let's think about it. If today you woke up and you knew this day would turn out like this, would you still show up? And people are like, yeah, you know what? I'd actually show up. And then, that whole change of perspective, it's like, yeah, I don't think if things went well, like, amazingly well, would have the fun that we had and that experience. And that's when you think about life, you say, you know what? Things happen to you for a reason, but at the end
Yeah.
of it all, you look back and you're like, in retrospect, that had to happen for me to learn this lesson, blah blah blah. So anyway, so I mean, it was just a good lesson for me. And yeah, It's normally not easy to be in that, when you're stressing or something is happening to you during that
Yes.
time, you feel bad, but then just hold on, it will get better.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, it was an interesting day for sure. Yeah.
Did you post any of the videos on here? I can't remember
I
where I saw them.
Yeah, they're just here. Yeah, they're just here. They're
Yeah,
on
so
TikTok.
pretty.
It's such a beautiful place. I'll definitely, probably it's one of the places I'll take you when you come. Yeah,
I
so
can't wait.
yeah, I have a whole list of things to do, but I will get there.
And
Uh,
I have some shopping requests for beads.
yeah, they are they
I
are
just got to get them
so
back home somehow.
they're insanely cheap over here. I think you'll be so surprised. Yeah.
I don't know
And
that I'm gonna be able to get them all back. They're gonna send me back to Africa.
yeah, they'll be like, yeah, yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, so today we went because obviously my son homeschooled. We went to the Japanese Information and Culture Center. Oh my
Ooh,
God! And let me start with konnichiwa.
konnichiwa.
Wee. So anyway, I loved it.
Well, for
Absolutely
us,
loved.
technically, for there you would be. Well, you'd be more like Kampawa because you're evening, but I'd be Ohio
Oh,
gozaimashita because I'm morning.
yeah, I love Konnichiwa. It
I
was
love
my
this.
favorite, to be honest.
Yes.
I was like, the others are like really hard. And then there's like, Mosh, when you're talking on the phone and saying hello, what was
Mushy
that?
mushy.
Mushi Mushi. Oh my God, that's also a fun one. And then,
Yeah.
thank you, arigato. I loved it.
Arigato is informal. Yeah. Domi arigato would be the formal.
Yeah, so like arigato. And then I forgot please. Yeah, I
I
forgot
have to
please.
think on that one.
Yeah, I forgot it. I forgot it. I even had like a paper. I think Aiden has the paper that I came with, that like has like some of the common
You
phrases.
did? Where in Japan did you used to live? I used to live
Yeah,
there too.
where? Yeah, it's, you know what? I love countries that actually hold on to their culture. You don't really, I feel like it's until you live in a country that you understand the culture, that you actually, get to understand people, the calligraphy, the shodo. Oh yeah. So
Yes.
I did. So I wrote, this is Japan in shodo in their calligraphy,
Ah,
and this is Kenya. Yeah, I wrote that. Come used to live at Onega. Hey, Onegashmasu. Oh, you were saying please is Onega. Oh my God, how do you even pronounce that word? I'm assuming it's Onegashmashu. It's so nice. Ooh, Japanese is so nice. Oh my God, and then the robes they wear. What's the name of those clothes?
kimonos?
Kimonos. Oh, so beautiful color. The one for women is so
Yeah.
beautiful with colors. Like I need to get a kimono for sure. Ah, I was so
See,
happy.
I love those kimonos, and then in Korea, I love the hanboks that they wear for the girls. Those are so pretty too. So you
Oh,
gotta check. If you like the kimonos, you'll love the hanboks from
Sinchi.
from Korea. Yes.
Oh, lovely. So,
Ah, okay.
Hey, Shinshu's sushi. Zin sushi. I assume. Zinshu
Yeah,
sushi.
I haven't. I was a military brat, so I lived on a military base.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Itogo.
I was at
Itogo.
Kamasea, went to school at
Ah.
Sugi, and my mom worked at Yokohama.
Oh my God.
So
I definitely want to visit
you
Japan.
need to visit Japan. It is
Especially
fabulous.
especially during autumn. Is that the most beautiful time of the year? I assume because I saw the photos. I saw autumn.
Spring,
Spring, okay.
spring with the
Spring.
cherry blossoms.
Oh
Oh
my God.
my gosh, is all I can say. Actually, the base we lived at was lined with cherry blossom trees, and every spring when they blossomed and the
Yeah.
petals fell, you couldn't even see the grass. It was just all beautiful, secure
Yeah.
flowers. Just,
Beautiful, right?
so pretty. Get me a
Shazi.
broad job.
Jazi, if you go to like their website, JICC Japanese, it's I forgot the name. Just check their
Yokosuka.
website. The Japanese website, I know they normally advertise jobs or opportunities, and then they were talking
Hmm.
about scholarships, undergraduate scholarships for guys from high school, and then postgraduate scholarships for guys who want to do masters. So I was like, wow, you know what? That's a very good opportunity for for
It's
someone.
it is. I know there's a creator I watch here on TikTok,
Uh-huh.
and he finished off his bachelor's in Japan and speaks fluent Japanese, reads and writes, and all of that. And he talks about how hard it is to get like a citizenship there. It's next
Hmm.
to impossible. So he has to get these visas
Oh.
to stay there. But he walks around and takes you to all these different places and shares his experiences, and it's really, really great.
Yeah. Um, wait, maybe I think Shazi, just I forget the name they told me. Um, I'm trying to look, but just search Embassy of Japan Information and Culture Center. Embassy of Japan Information and Culture Center. I think if you search that, you'll actually find something. Yeah, I'm sure. So yeah, we had so yeah enough to get by. Absolutely, I mean, as
That
long
is
as
exciting.
yeah, it was such an exciting day. I totally enjoyed. Look, I mean, they have also different comic books. There's one Naruto. I mean, I'm not even Aiden is not a fan
Uh,
of the comic books, or he's also not a fan of
Anime and
anime. So
manga. You better get that straight. It's anime and mangas.
yeah,
My
so
son would
yeah.
have a fit. He is a huge anime and manga fan, and all this. I won't even say the N word you said because he says I can never pronounce it correct.
Ah,
We
Naruto.
had a whole 6 hour drive from here to my best friend's house with him trying to teach me how to say it. And for whatever reason, I can't
Yeah.
say it correct, especially
Oh,
in his mind. And we had the
yeah.
best laugh over it. But
I
yeah,
what is a 7-Eleven? Do you understand that, Kim? Please tell me you went to a 7-Eleven.
please. 7-Eleven
Mm.
they are like gas stations,
Mm.
and they have food, and it's like a convenience store. It's the name of a convenience store.
Oh, okay.
And they're popular for like their slushies and stuff like that. They're
Oh,
amazing. And in
all
Japan,
right.
they're even more spectacular. Let me tell you, all the stores in Japan are spectacular.
I
They have,
bet.
girl, you told me you went to a store there with all the cute little pens and stuff. No, I got you, girl. Japan, they have stores and you can't fit nothing else in there because it's all like little erasers and pens and
Quite cute.
papers and all these
Yeah.
cutesy things, girl. Just
Yeah.
throw your
Yeah.
money out. I'm poor. They're awesome. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. The 7-Eleven is top notch in there.
Mm.
It's probably the equivalent to our Bucky's here in Texas.
Oh, okay. All
So
right.
when you come here, you'll understand about Bucky's. And if you're
Mm.
anywhere in the state of Texas, and now they're in some other states like Georgia, Tennessee, Lincoln,
Mm.
Carolina.
Mm.
And when you go, like, you have to go to the bathroom, that's where you stop. Those bathrooms are spotless,
Yeah.
spotless. So you stop at a Bucky's and you can spend hours in there because they have so much stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the
I think.
Texas equivalent to the 7-Elevens in Japan.
Oh, nice.
Ah, Austin. Yes.
Austin. Wow. All
That's
right.
not far from here, from where I live. Austin's not far from where I live.
Mm, lovely. Anyway, yeah, so
Yes.
I mean, beautiful. I mean, I love, again, as I said, culture. I think I come, like every time I experience new culture, like, my my Ethiopian neighbor hosting me for lunch and then showing me the whole process of making their coffee. I was like, wow, this is beautiful. And then I go to this Japanese culture center and I'm like, this is beautiful. I come to realize culture is actually so very important. It's some things in our
It
culture we
is.
just need to, yeah, we need to hold on to them. I mean, I mean, I never took culture seriously. Like, there are things we do, like our traditions. For example, for example, as Kenyans, we have different tribes, and each tribe has different traditions. Those things you don't like when you're young, you don't even care about them, but they're actually really important. And things that need to be passed down from generations,
Yes.
and just experiencing new cultures just shows there's beauty in different cultures, and it's so important to hold on to your culture. Absolutely.
That is
That one.
probably the one thing I love most about growing up as a military brat. So,
Yeah.
if you would have asked me when I was younger, I would have told you I absolutely hated it because every couple
Mhm.
of years we were getting up and we were moving, which meant I had to go to a new school. I had to meet new friends, which I hated
Yeah.
because back in the day, they would teachers would make you, I don't know if teachers still do this, they'd make you get up in
Yeah.
front of the class and talk about where you're from, and
Yeah.
then people who didn't understand you get hate because they think you were so spoiled because you lived overseas. And
Yeah.
it's like, no, we were just there because my dad's job, not because we're rich or anything.
Yeah.
But and I didn't understand um, how special it was for some of the places I got to go. So,
Yeah.
like before I went to Hawaii, I was so sad because I was leaving my friends. And of course, the teacher announced that we were going to Hawaii, and everybody was all over me. Oh, you're so lucky. You're so lucky.
Yeah.
And I had to go home and talk to my mom, go, I don't understand why they're asking me or telling me I'm so lucky because I have to leave and I have to make new friends and I have to start over again. I did not understand what was
Yeah.
so, I mean, now I get it and it
Yeah.
was awesome, but
Yeah.
at them, at that time, I didn't get it. As an adult,
Mm.
I was very fortunate to go and get to experience the cultures and even the military culture because the military culture is such a melting pot
Mhm.
of different people, different cultures. So uh, I got to experience that. And on
Yeah.
top of that, like my grandparents, on my mom's side, well, and my mom are first generation here in the States. So I did
Mhm.
get cultural experience because my grandma is from Germany, my mom's from Germany, and my grandfather's from the Ukraine. So
Yeah.
I got that experience firsthand as well
Yeah.
within my own family,
Yeah.
which as an adult, I now realize that I got to experience
Mm.
a lot more than most people.
Yeah.
And I count myself blessed for that part,
Absolutely.
but it wasn't
Absolutely.
all easy.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
this is
mean,
coming from an adult.
yeah. When
You
you are
as a kid,
young.
I would have had told you different.
Yeah, absolutely. When you're young, we don't appreciate that, but it's actually extremely
Right.
important. I think I see a comment here that I need to. Yeah, it's amazing to experience, to be in different. It's such an amazing experience to be in different countries. I'm like, I mean,
Yes.
to be honest, I cannot wait to just experience that. Like in be different cultures, experience those culture, immerse yourself in that culture. And there's
Yes.
something I want us to address before, and it's more of like adapting to different cultures in different
Hmm.
countries, how to behave, blah blah blah. Because this is a question one of the students asked. Yeah, like when you go to, let's say, Japan, you need to, like when they say something, they're like, like that. That's not
Yeah, you
common,
bow.
something like that, and then they're a bit more quiet. You cannot be there shouting on your phone like we do here,
Yeah,
or
no.
playing loud music, blah blah blah. So it's a bit different. So you adapt. How do you integrate? And you also don't forget about where you come from. And before we answer that, there's this comment here from Tess about Cecilia, but she speaks in Swahili, so I'll
Yeah.
just try to translate. It's more
Translate for
like,
me.
Cecilia, can you speak like with the accent, the American accent, versus speaking like a Kenyan, like my accent. My accent is quite heavy, right?
I love your
I
accent. Don't
wish.
ever stop with
Now,
it.
now let me tell you, this is something that I need to bring up. And this is the thing. And the thing is this, huh? Um, when Kenyans or Africans in general, let me just talk about Kenyans. When Kenyans like go to, let's say, study in international schools or go travel abroad for a few months, they come back with the accent, the American twang. when you speak with the American twang, people look at you differently, like, wow, that's so nice. People here in Kenya, not the
How
white
cute.
the other people, the white people love my accents. Absolutely. They're like, oh, this nice accent, blah blah blah. But the Kenyan people be like, please polish your accent. And I'm like, you know what? I absolutely love my accent. I love it. I
Yes.
don't want to lose it. Even if I go live
Mm-mm.
in another country, I go live in the US, I still want to speak like this. I don't want to ever lose
Yes.
it. I never want to have the British accent or the American accent. I love this accent. Hi, Irgish. Hi, Irgish. Hi, Irgish is my Ethiopian neighbor. Hi, thank you for joining.
Hi. Well,
Anyway,
I don't
yeah.
think you will have to. Okay, so speaking on accents, because you are an adult and you come over here, you will keep your accent. So,
Oh,
and the reason I
yeah.
say this is so when my grandmother and grandfather immigrated here, they never lost their accents ever. But because my mother, she was 5 years old when they immigrated here to the United States, she lost her accent. She can
Mm,
still speak fluent German, but
yeah.
she lost her. And then when she speaks to other Germans, they will
Mm,
say how Americanized her, when she speaks German, how it is because she was here and she was
yeah.
raised here,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So I don't think you ever have to worry about your accent. You know, if you move
I
over
know.
here, having to lose it, and I won't let you. I mean, go back to Africa, pick it up again, and
No,
come back. Okay, girl,
I don't.
stop it.
Yeah, I don't think it will ever go, to be honest. But as I'm
Mm-mm.
telling you, like, people here, they more like, oh, they're the American twang, that's nice. They're like, wow, that's nice. Even
I've heard some of us. No,
they love that
I love you,
accent.
Americans, but
You
y'all
see
know
that
what I'm
accent?
talking about.
You see that accent you're talking about? That's the accent people actually wish they could speak with, and they actually pretend. Like tomato, or I say tomato. It's tomato. I guess, come to think of it, the reason why your son was saying you cannot say Naruto is because maybe you are saying Naruto, or Naruto.
I'm
Like,
not even going to say it because I'm not going to embarrass myself.
yeah, I think now, like, with that American accent that does not pronounce T's and R as like or something. Anyway, yeah. So and I think I saw a conversation on, was it on Twitter? And
Not
the
me in my head trying to say it correctly.
and the conversation, there was this conversation I saw on Twitter, and it was like, why do people pretend to speak like someone else? Authenticity is very important. And this person was talking about politicians. Like, when politicians want your votes, they start speaking like you, or the people who are there. Like, just speak like yourself. We don't mind. We don't mind how you speak like. We just want you to speak
Yeah.
like yourself. Don't pretend. Even here, people just pretend, you know, pretend to be like, oh, like, speak a certain way so that the masses can love them.
I
But
have
let's just
Yurgish.
pretend.
Bring
Hmm?
her up.
Oh,
Your friend Yurgish.
let me join
Bring her
you
up.
for it.
So
Let
on,
me see. Let me see if I can. How do I do it? I'm not able to. Where am I? This is so weird.
can she request at the bottom?
How do you request?
I think she just has to push guess.
Yirgish, can you
Um,
request for me? Because some people, when they join, it shows
ah,
invite, but with Yirgish, I don't see that. Let me
I
see.
did
Oh,
it.
I've seen.
I
I've
pushed it.
seen.
I pushed it. I pushed it.
Oh,
I did it.
amazing!
Finally, we did it.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi.
everyone. How are you?
Good girl. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, everybody?
Oh, good,
Yeah.
good, good, good.
Yeah, I actually I saw her when she speak with my friend, Sissy. I
Mm-hmm.
saw her when she speak with Leah. I have a friend from Ethiopia, Leah. I
Uh-huh.
think you know her. And then I saw you when you have a conversation with her. So
Oh, Leah, where, when, where? Here.
no, her, not you, Sissy.
Oh,
The other one, yeah. I saw her
Oh,
when she have a conversation with her last time. Am I right?
oh, oh, yeah, by the way, I remember now. Oh, that's your friend.
Yeah,
Oh, nice. Okay. All
yeah.
right. Yeah. Tell us
So
about, uh-huh.
how this is about the accent?
Yeah, the accents.
Mm. I love your accent, sis.
Yeah, I love yours too.
No, no, no. Mine is really different.
No, I love both y'all's.
Mine is
Yeah.
different a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, yours, you speak like Ethiopians, by the way.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
They speak more like how Kenyans speak. So accent,
Mm.
yeah, it's totally different. Have you ever had people tell you your accent is not polished?
Yes, yes, they did. They did.
Really? So
It's
that
weird.
is a thing?
Yeah, and then I don't know how to change it. Then I don't want to change it.
You
Like,
don't ever change it.
Yeah.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're beautiful and wonderful because that's the way God created you, was to be just exactly how you are. So everybody
Yeah.
could just kiss off.
Yeah. Hmm.
That's right.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So the accent thing is actually no very in Africa. It's a normal thing, like people to tell you your accent is not polished, and if you speak like the white person, and it's more of like the British accent or the American accent or whichever, even the French accent, but like, oh, nice, they like that. But no, I'm not gonna speak there. I'm speaking. I'm not going to change my accent for
Mm-mm.
someone else or for me to be accepted or to get invited. Oh, hi guys, welcome to my channel. How you doing?
Don't do that. Please stop. Don't ever do that again.
Jesus. That's really different. That's not you, Sissy.
Even that's how they want you to speak.
Don't do it.
I cannot speak like that. Like I cannot pretend to be speaking there with the American twang.
I'm not even going to embarrass myself trying to have a British accent or anything else because it's horrible. I am not even going to try it. But
Yeah,
here, I will say this.
yeah.
When, okay,
Uh-huh.
so growing up in a military family, you
Mm,
had to become, learn to be adaptable to
yeah,
your surroundings. So
absolutely.
I would pick up little nuances of the way individuals around me spoke, which became quite funny. And to this day, I don't think about it, but I do it.
Mm,
And and I do it without thinking. So like when we lived in Hawaii,
yeah,
the way they talked, back in the day they called it like a pigeon talk. It was very short
yeah.
sentences. So instead of "Hey, you want to go to the store with me," it was "You like go store." So it was very cut off like that. So my brother and I both had had little things that we would say like that used to drive my dad completely crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just from being around, and that's with the whole communication thing, you just start picking things up. There's one
Yeah.
time when I had a client of mine, so when I was working as a hairdresser,
Mm,
and she had a British accent, and I was kind of okay with just her, but when her
mm,
daughter came in and it was the both of them, I started getting slight British accent when I was talking to him, and I had to
yeah.
keep apologizing because it would just come out just from being around them. And I was like, oh, girl, you need to
That's
stop.
so
And by
funny.
all means, it wasn't good. And I caught myself several times doing it. And yeah, that's
Yeah.
one thing to
I'm
this day I still have problems with.
Yeah, I'm surprised that happened to you, but you are an adult, so I'm surprised it happened to you. And that's why I'm like scared. I don't want to lose mine, but I don't
You
think I
won't.
will, because I've seen, for example, my friend who just came, my neighbor, she's married to a Belgian, and he obviously speaks, with that, the
Hmm.
Belgian accent. The children
Right.
speak like their father, and it's only her who speaks with that accent. So I'm like, you know what? It's not gonna change, especially if you're older. Your accent remains the same, like unless you're
Yes.
trying to, you know, unless for most people trying to pretend, because they want to
Hmm.
be accepted, you
Right.
know. But otherwise, it just remains the same. Which,
Right.
yeah, I don't want to lose my accent. This
You,
accent,
you, you don't,
very
you don't,
Kenyan accent, I don't want to lose it, to be honest.
you won't. No, on it, you won't. Like I said, when my grandparents, they had very thick accents and they never lost it.
Yeah.
Now, however,
Uh-huh.
I will come back and say this.
Uh,
When I was with my grandfather,
mm,
and okay, and because he was older, but he looked great for his age. Like he never even got gray hair. His dark brown hair just kind of faded to a lighter brown.
mm.
And he looked awesome for his age.
Oh.
And put the accent on it. All the ladies were after him. But the thing
Oh.
that drove me crazy is when we went out and people would not take the time to listen uh, to him. And so they would look at me and go, "What did he say?" And I
Mm.
was like, "He's standing right here. You can just
Oh,
ask
that's,
him to repeat what
yeah,
he said."
yeah.
So I am not kidding you. They would then go like this to ask him a question. I,
What
I
do
said, he's
you?
not deaf. I mean, the man speaks, reads, and writes 7 different
Yeah,
languages, and
yeah,
English is one of them.
yeah.
You do not have to yell at him. He's not deaf. Maybe you need to slow down
Mm,
and be in the moment to
mm.
understand him because it
Ab-
wasn't that difficult.
Absolutely. That's,
So,
yeah, that's crazy. That's
yeah.
crazy. Yeah, anyway, I mean the whole accent, but you'll discover that. And when you come to Kenya, when you visit Kenya and Africa in general, you will get a sense of the fact that there's a lot of hate of the accent, hate of the language, hate of the skin, hate of the hair, like the whole thing,
Oh,
everything African is actually looked down upon even by Africans themselves. So it's more, I think it's the effect of colonialism. I think with time, maybe people will start embracing a different, I don't know, we shall see, with the next generations as progress, life progresses, we'll see. But
yeah.
generally, yeah, generally you will notice, you will see that, yeah.
Well, I hope that they learn to embrace and love and not change who they are because that's what makes you special
Yeah,
is that where you grew up and you should never
yeah,
be ashamed or
yeah.
want to be anything else.
Absolutely.
Embrace it.
Even the skin color is it
Yes.
because there are so many products being sold to like lighten your skin so you are
Mm,
white or brown. And also, I mean, it's just the beauty narrative that is being pushed, beauty narrative. Like if you're brown, I mean, I don't know, for you, it's more like, I don't know if you know brown, but for us, brown is like a
yes.
bit light. But if you are lighter, and you have softer hair, that is the beauty standard. Like you should look like that for a woman,
Yeah.
for example. And if you are dark with the hair like mine, I mean, you're not beautiful. So that is
That
what
is absolutely
crazy.
crazy.
I know. It's
Crazy.
yeah,
I mean, but I understand because in a lot of Asian cultures, it's the same thing. The lighter
yeah,
skin is better than, for
for
them, what
sure.
they say, and their beauty standard is
Mhm.
better than the darker. And, and, for them, it means that, it's a sign of being wealthy and whatever. But here in the
Yeah,
States, here in the States, we go and get tanned and want to be tanned because we don't want to be white, right? Because so in like Asian countries, it's, if you're darker, it's because you're having to work hard, you're out in the fields, you're out, doing hard labor.
mm,
And so that's where some of that originated for them. But for here in the States, when you're tanned and you have that glow, it's a sign of, okay, For us, that's
Yeah.
money because you've been on vacation, you have time to
Yeah.
be out, you're not locked in an office, and we like to be tanned. As you see, I am not. I turn
I
pink
know,
and
I
I turn
know.
red, but I don't tan, and that's unfortunate.
I know what you mean about the tanned bit. I've
I mean,
had.
and I don't go. I don't go to a tanning salon. Um,
Oh, you.
I don't do it.
I don't know. I'm just like, yeah. I mean, as long as it's the sun and the sun is tanning you, good. But don't force things. Like any skin is fine.
Yeah.
The East Asian people want your skin. You want the skin of the South American people. It's like so crazy,
Well,
you
I
know.
mean, it's my son has
Mm,
even he hasn't said so much about it recently, and I'm glad. Because as a mom, it was so difficult. So, because right now
mm,
he's with a bunch of white people. So
mm,
my late husband was Korean. So
mm,
my son is half Korean, half white. And
mm.
so he does have the more naturally tanned skin.
Yeah,
And he
yeah,
is beautiful. He's
mm,
gorgeous.
yeah.
And I'd say when he did start to get more into Japanese culture, he
Mm.
was then starting to say like he wishes he was a little bit more white and it was going on and on. And we had to have um several conversations about
Mm,
that.
yeah,
And it was really difficult. I don't want to shoot him down. And at the same time, I don't want him to dismiss who he is.
yeah, yeah.
So, but I think he's starting to like accept it more because, he was really into Japanese culture, still is, but
Mm,
then he's also, which I'm happy about,
mm,
wanting to learn about his Korean heritage,
yeah.
which I was already starting to learn and to do because my late husband, he was adopted. So
Mm,
he's from Seoul, South Korea. He was adopted, him and his biological sister, when he was 2 and she was 5. And they grew up in the middle of like White Town, USA.
mm.
And I've never met anybody who want to be more white than him. And that made me sad
Yeah.
because he was beautiful
Mm,
and he was gorgeous, just not on the outside, but the inside.
yeah.
And I was like, well, why do you want to change yourself? But at the
Yeah.
same time, living in the middle of nowhere where everybody's all white, predominantly
Yeah.
white, and there's nobody else that looks like
Mm,
you,
mm,
I could see how that weighed on him. And
mm,
his parents never swayed any other way, and they loved them and encouraged them to
mm,
be who they were,
yeah.
or who they are.
Mm,
So I don't know. That's a tough thing when there
yeah.
is so many beauty standards, and now
Mm,
we have this internet
mm.
where we're trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd look to look a certain way because this certain way is what is being praised out there.
Right,
Oh,
right.
yeah, I mean, and let's come to the question of like, I think I said it's a question that someone asked when we were talking about different cultures, and the the person who was explaining it to us, our host, was like, when you go to Japan, you have to behave a certain way.
Yes.
They are this way, they're a bit more quiet. You cannot be shouting on your phone like most of us do, blah, blah. And then
Hmm.
someone asked, okay, so yeah, when you go to different cultures, you try to assimilate, to integrate. But how do you make sure you don't lose yourself? As I said, like, where you're trying to like, I go to America for like 6 months, and then I'm coming back to Kenya with a twang. Suddenly I'm like, oh, I'm speaking with a twang. How do you now make sure that you don't lose yourself in the process? This is a question that someone asked. Yes, it's okay to adapt to different cultures, but then how
Yeah.
do you make sure that who you are actually remains?
Yes, because so it's not it's about when you go to another country, it's respecting their culture
Mm,
and their way of life. It's
mm,
not trying to change who you are. So
Mm.
yes, Japan, Korea. Okay, here in America, if we're walking down the street, people smile at each other. They stop and make small talk with complete strangers, and that is
Mm.
the norm around here. It is
Yeah,
not in Korea. You will be
yeah,
seen as weird and creepy, okay? We talk everywhere all the time
yeah,
in
yeah.
Korea and Japan. That is not what it's like. They don't. They're
Mm.
very quiet. They keep to
Yeah.
themselves. They're a bit more reserved, and that's okay. And you know
Mm.
what? We can learn to pipe down. We are in their country. We are
Yeah,
guests over there. And
yeah,
just like in some of the Muslim countries, wearing
yeah,
the hijab and stuff, because that's how it is when women are out in public. And
yeah.
it's not about changing who you are, it's about respecting
Respecting the
culture.
culture. Yeah, respecting
Yes.
the
And people
host
have a
country.
hard time with that.
Yeah, I've
And I
seen that
find
a
it
lot.
I find it ridiculous,
Yeah, I,
honestly.
yeah, I find it crazy. Like you come to my country where we do things a certain way, and you start complaining and saying no, you
Yeah.
should be doing this way. I mean, go back. And that's a
Yeah.
thing that I've seen a lot. I think with I've seen a lot of these kind of conversations on X, and it's a conversation around like when they, because I know most there's been a lot of immigration from especially the Muslims coming into the UK, or I don't know which other country, I don't remember. Maybe was it Spain or Italy? I don't remember. But there is that forcing the host country to, yeah, to respect your culture. But then it's like, I don't know, but I don't know about this conversation, to be honest. I think I'm just thinking about it right now. Like you
Yeah.
come to the UK, and in the UK most people are actually atheists. They don't care about God, Allah, or wherever. They don't care about that. They don't care about what you dress, how you dress. But you come and then you tell me, because you find me wearing a miniskirt, you're like, why are you wearing a miniskirt? It's wrong. You start shouting at me, but you are in my country. That kind of thing. I think also that is the thing. They're respecting other people's cultures. It's also
Yeah.
important. Yeah, your culture is not the only one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
and
what is okay in one country may not
be
be
okay.
okay in another country. So being aware and doing your research before you're traveling to different countries is really important
Yeah, or
to
immigration.
understand. Yeah, I mean, because there's like very strict laws in Singapore, which is
Yeah,
gorgeous, and I would love to go one day.
yeah,
So especially when it comes to like not throwing trash on the ground, or you can't chew gum there. There's
yeah,
very strict laws, and they still do
yeah.
like canings. So you have to know where you're going and what's to be expected of you.
Mm,
You can't be just so rambunctious.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. It's so hard because as someone who has been able to travel, but just because of my dad's job,
Mm,
like I get it,
yeah, you
right?
understand.
For someone who doesn't have that opportunity and it's the first time, do your research. That's the best
Absolutely.
thing I can say. Do your research, and it's not about changing who you are. It's respecting that culture of wherever you are going, and
Yeah,
respecting their laws, because their laws are not the same like here in America. Our
yeah,
laws in America are not the same as in Kenya.
absolutely.
So having
Mm.
to understand that's important too.
I think
And
that,
learn basic language skills
yeah,
for like
language.
if you're going to, yes, like basic hello,
No.
goodbye,
Yeah,
thank you, a basic question, where is, how to get somewhere. Learn that basic
so
stuff before you go to, that'd be good.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. The thing I've noticed, or I realized in one of my encounters, is like the moment I was trying to speak English, and that person was like, didn't even want to respond to me, but because they felt like I did not put effort in trying to speak their language, which is absolutely important. If you go to a new country, put effort to learn a few things about that country, their language, not even a few, their language. Put effort to learn about their language. Hello, you'd rather just say hello in their language and ask the question in English rather than just be like, asking the whole question in English. They want to see you at least try. Because language is a very crucial element to identity, to people's identity. They hold it so close to their heart. So you
Yeah.
speaking to them in another language is also, for them, it's like a sign of disrespect. Another thing I was coming to was this, like, you go to a new country, you migrate to a new country, right? And this is not traveling in, because traveling is more of like you can adapt to a culture and then you are back to your own culture. But when you actually immigrate to a new country, I think this is a totally different ball game, especially if the country you're immigrating to does not have your culture around, like people from your culture around to keep you, in check or whatever, to remind you of where you're coming from. I think
Yeah.
with time, you absolutely assimilate, you integrate to a point where your children, your children's children are now they now be like, they're like from that country. They pick the country's culture because they are not around people of the same culture. And I think I had a question on that. And that is the aspect of like accepting that you are going to a new country and their culture is going to be different from yours, and ask yourself, are you willing to do that? Are you willing to actually, to a point, actually forget about your culture, let it go completely, and you'll actually just be remembering it as a point of like, oh, I used to be, or I am like this, but you don't really practice it. I think also that's a something someone should keep in mind when they move to a new country.
Yeah.
That Yeah, that they're, and yeah, this is where it's coming from. I was thinking of Japan. I think one thing we're talking about was like how the Japanese population, young population, is dwindling because people are not getting children, so the older people are the one who are actually there. And we are thinking, and then they're trying to get people to get into their country, to at least boost that. And obviously, there is fear around that. The fear is, if these people come in, they come in with their culture, we might lose our culture in the process. And that's the thing. I actually fear for Japan because, with the influx of new people coming into your country, the chances of your culture being diluted actually goes high. This is my opinion. The culture, like the children, for example, a Japanese man marrying an American. Okay, the children, yeah, obviously children, and they live in Japan, and they live in Japan. I mean, that helps, though. That helps, to live in Japan. But if you have so many foreigners coming in, this is what I think. Coming in, there's dilution, unless, I don't know, if the culture is really strong and people want to hold on to it. Otherwise, I feel like it could lead to death of our culture.
I don't see how you wouldn't integrate again. Um, as someone who was in a married to someone of a different culture, so my husband being South Korean, uh, I, even though because of he was adopted and how he grew up,
Mm.
I was always pushing this Korean influence because, and it's like I had told my late husband, it's important to be proud of and know where you came from.
Yeah.
And so for me, and now with my son, I push that because Korean is part of who he is.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
so I plant seeds and hopefully it will grow, and it has, that he takes interest because he is not just white, he is Korean, and he
Yeah.
should know both cultures.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and just like with my mom being German, knowing about her German culture and that background is important. My grandfather, being
Mm-hmm.
Ukrainian, learning about that culture, because that's all of
Yeah.
part of who I am too, because that's my
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
And it's keeping that alive. I don't think that you should just go from one and neglect the other. I don't see how a person could do that. You need to embrace all sides of it.
The thing I'm talking about is like even generations. Like, yeah, you are German and there's Ukrainian. But you look at, let's say, look at Siako, for example. Is the German or the Ukrainian beat even alive in him? Let's say Siako goes, become big and gets married. Like it dies. It dies with, I'm just saying, like with generations go on, the culture of the older generations actually die in the process. And they pick, and then you find like inks, like if for example 100 years from now you could watch your great grandchildren, you'll be like, oh my. There's that, there's totally different. I feel like the future actually, your generations actually just change. They pick
Well,
new cultures, and
but
that's,
that's the thing about this world. Change is
mhm.
constant. It's the one thing in life that
Yeah,
you can be rest assured of is change.
yeah,
And so, yes, because Japan today is not Japan 100 years ago. It
yeah,
cannot be because the technology in itself will,
yeah.
you will evolve. And so we
It's
evolve. So
true.
even if you don't have other people coming in and diluting,
Yeah,
said culture, the culture is going to change regardless if
absolutely.
they're marrying outside of, your own race, your own culture.
Absolutely. I mean, I get it. I mean, it's, you look at Japan, it's not the time of the samurai, that is gone. But I still don't, yeah. So I think it changes, it evolves. But I strongly feel like the cultures are really, it's like they're dying off, and what we are getting now is, I don't say uncultured, but
But that is left up for the families to pass on these
they're,
traditions
yeah, yeah,
and
absolutely.
to hold that and to speak about them. It
Yeah,
is our job. And if
yeah,
we're not doing it, that's why it's dying out.
yeah. I'm
And
seeing,
and passing that down to each generation so it
mm,
continues on.
on to
But
future.
as life, everything will keep evolving, but it doesn't have to go away.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, makes sense. All right. Yeah, love that. Yeah. So I need to get ready for Chris's live.
Yes.
But let me tell you, I'm struggling. I'm struggling with the trading thing. Oh my God, Jesus. I don't think, I'm getting to a point, I'm like, I don't think it's for me. I don't get those charts. Like they open the charts, I'm like, what the hell is going on? I
It
don't
it
know.
can be difficult.
I'm about to
I
give
say
up.
that I don't even look at it. My brother
Yeah.
is so smart and it can be a lot. It can be a lot.
Yeah, I'm
But
struggling.
I think it's with anything, any other new experience or change in your life is to stick with it because if you've never been immersed in something like this, it can be shocking to come in and feel overwhelming. Uh, but the more you stick with it and look at it and go, it will sink in. You just got to let it
Yeah.
marinate a little
No,
bit.
I mean, I get where you're coming from. I'm like, I'm questioning. I'm questioning if it's something like, I need to actually just make a decision, because I'm like, what, I'm struggling. Struggling to a point, I'm like struggling to watch the videos that they do, like, because I'm doing the videos that, like, old videos, like he did, like, I think maybe like 5 years ago, like the fundamentals of trading. So I'm
Hmm.
watching them, I'm like, oh my God, what the hell, you know yeah, it's such a struggle, but I think yeah, anyway, I'll see. I don't know, I'm just like, okay, let me finish. I'll probably just finish those videos, so that it's like I actually finished what I said I'll finish doing. um but we shall see. I'm struggling, to be
We shall
honest.
see. It's
um
okay to struggle.
yeah, it's killing. Yeah, anyway, but yeah, it's fine, it's okay, we'll figure it out.
Yes.
Yeah, so I need to do that. Yeah, but ultimately we had such an amazing conversation.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
I
have
was.
something I'm going to send you that I think would be a great topic next week.
Okay.
I'll WhatsApp you on it.
Alrighty, I'll look at. I think I sent you a video. What video did I send you? And I was like, this video we need to discuss. But I sent you a video on TikTok. I
I have to look.
forwarded it to you, and I was yeah. I was like, any video I send you is a video like in my mind. I'm like, oh, this is something we could talk about, you know. But then I forget about it. But I should actually be going to our videos and just look at them and just try to remember, which I'll do the next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll keep
Alrighty
that in
then.
mind.
Arigato.
Domi arigato.
Sayonara.
Sayonara.
Your accent changed. You know your accent is like you said tata. I had you said arigato. You said you
Well,
know.
because that's how you say it. I'm not going to just go arigato. That's dumb. It's arigato. I can pronounce some words like that because that's the correct way.
That's a
Thank
great
you.
pronunciation. Yeah. Yeah, very good. Yeah, adapting to the culture.
Okay. I'm getting red. Yes.
Hi, Kwatolo. We are ending the live. See you next time, next week.
Yes. Next
Same
week.
time, 6:30 p.m.
Yes.
East African time. I don't know about CS.
10:30 a.m.
Yes.
Central Standard Time.
Yeah, CST. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Yes. All
Mwah.
right. Bye.